Use a 19mm socket, remove the wheel, take the lug nuts off. Take the wheel off. I'm going to remove this nut. I'm going to use an 18mm socket. So there's different types of front end tools you can use to remove the ball joint from the lower control arm. I'm going to use a pickle fork. You just need to be careful. If you use a pickle fork, it tends to rip the boot and you have to replace the ball joint. But we're going to replace the ball joint anyway and just hit it with a hammer. There we go. We can pull this out. Slide that to the side. All right, so to get this ball joint to the side a little bit, I'm going to use a ratchet strap. Just go around the tie rod end and just find a hole in the body that you can grab onto. Now I have a little bit of room to work over here. There's a C-clip right here on top of the ball joint we need to remove. I'm just going to take a chisel and just try to rotate this a little bit. You want to be careful not to rotate it too far. Now I found the end. Now I'm just going to take 2 screwdrivers, just try to pry this right here. One I'm going to pry up and the other I'm trying to pry out a little bit. There we go, just released it. Or you could get a pick under there if possible. Pry it up on that, pop it up. All right, you're going to need a ball joint tool to press this out. You're going to have to use some different adapters. You might have to get creative with this bottom adapter. And now we're going to press this out. As I'm pushing up on the tool, tightening the tool, it's going to push the ball joint down. I'm only going to be able to go so far because of the limits of the tool. As I can go. And now it's not completely out. What I'm going to do is just take an air chisel and line this up here and just press it out the rest of the way. I'm going to take the new ball joint, take this nut off. There's a protective sleeve right there, take that off. And if you have the right adapters, you can adapt this up and actually press it in. But because of the adapters we have, I'm just going to use an air hammer and hammer this in. And just make sure it seats all the way around. That looks good. All right, now we'll take this C-clip. I'm just going to take a hammer and tap it back in position. Just like that, make sure it goes all the way around. That looks good. The ball joint's in. Now I can remove the slack from the tie down. Loosen that up. Remove the ratchet strap. And pull down on the control arm. You might need to use a pry bar to do this. And get the ball joint lined up. Watch your fingers. Now take the castle nut, install that, and take a 18mm socket, tighten this up. I'm going to torque this nut to 70 foot-pounds. Good. Now take the cotter pin, slide that through there. And I'll take some side cutters and just bend this and cut the excess off. There. And install the wheel. I'm going to torque these lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds, and I'm going to do it in a star pattern so that it tightens the wheel down evenly. And I'll just go around again and just double check.